Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do an unboxing and a comparison of the HTC 10 by Verizon. I want to say thanks to Verizon for allowing me to review this device. We're going to compare it to the main flagship of the early 2016, and I'm also going to compare it to the original Boom Sound HTC device. Yes, the M7. This is TK. Let's check it out. This is the actual box, HTC 10 by Verizon. It's nice, actually, a white dotted case, and I think it's reminiscent of the dot view case that you used to have in the original HTC M9. Quick look at the back as far as specification. We have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 820. We have a 5.2-inch display. It's a Quad HD. We have 4 gigs of RAM, micro SD, expandable storage, 12 megapixel autofocus with f1.8, HTC Ultra Pixel 2 with OIS, very nice. The front-facing camera is a 5 megapixel f1.8, of course, with OIS, and this is basically an industry first, having a front-facing camera with that specification. HTC Boom Sound, of course, with a new configuration, high-res audio with an amplified headphone jack, Wi-Fi, of course, ABG and an AC. This is Blackfire, I'm not sure what this is, but 4G LTE, NFC, fingerprint sensor. A Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 in the box, which means the charger that we get with this unit itself is compatible with Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0. Even though the HTC 10 is compatible with the unit, and the reason why I'm mentioning this is with the LGG5, the unit itself is compatible with the Quick Charge 3.0, and it has a USB Type-C, but the charger that came with the G5 is a Quick Charge 2.0, which unfortunately doesn't give you the full experience that you're expecting with a Quick Charge Qualcomm 3.0. USB Type-C for connectivity. We'll take out the box, put this on the side. Here is the device. It says 4G LTE SIM pre-installed. So with Verizon, most of the devices that we get from Verizon have their SIM cards pre-installed, as they're different than the standard GSM ones. It tells us basically we have a power button, volume rocker, SIM card is on the right, SD card is to the left, front-facing camera, fingerprint sensor is at the bottom, and again, this isn't a button, it's actually a capacitive button, which means it doesn't actually have a clicking action to it, but it will respond the way a regular button will. And again, we have the same, I guess this outline giving us where everything is. This is the 12 megapixel camera with the NFC tag on top of it, the dual tone LED flash with the laser autofocus, built-in OIS to the camera itself, very, very nice. Let's go, and here we are. Yes. Very nice. We'll put that one to the side. Right out of the box, I'm just going to basically, it feels really nice. It's cool. It has that nice metal feeling, and this is just something that you guys want to be aware of. They both, well, here's the LGG5. They're both from Verizon. Both devices are intended to have this metal body. The G5 does have that painting, which makes it feel less of a metal, more plastic feeling, where the HTC 10 here feels very, very nice. Both look very, very good. Of course, this is the LGG5. We'll get a chance to do a quick comparison later. Very, very nice. Just do a quick side-by-side comparison again. This is the original M7 for with the well, this is an AT&T one, but you can see here the size didn't really go that much bigger. We have a 5.inch, I think it's a 4.8 or 4.7-inch display here, and then we have a 5.2-inch display, and then on the front. Of course, here we have the original Boom Sound, where we have only a single speaker here, which is the tweeter at the top, and the additional speaker now is at the bottom. Let's go ahead and do a quick tour around the body itself of the device. Fingerprint sensor, as I said, is at the bottom, and as we're doing this, let's go ahead and turn it on. Pressing power button, giving it a second. HTC, powered by Android. We do have the power button here on the top, on the bottom actually, the volume right above it. And of course we have the tray here, and I think this one is for the SD card and this one is for the SIM card, but we'll get a chance to check that out. 5 megapixel front-facing camera. We're booting up with the Verizon options. The front-facing headphone as well as speaker with a tweeter, and again the fingerprint sensor. On the left, no buttons, we just have the tray. On the back, what we have here is essentially the camera, a single microphone, and of course we have the laser autofocus as well as the dual tone LED flash, some branding on the top, at the bottom here. Over here on the top, all we have is one single amplified headphone jack, so this should be for a much better experience listening to audio on this unit. And at the bottom we have is basically the lower, basically the low, the mid, the tones that we're going to be expecting out of the device. And I think let's double check here. Yeah, it's telling us that we need to configure some stuff. The USB Type-C Quick Charge 3.0 compliant port, and of course we have another microphone here on the side. So the device itself has been booted up. Let's go ahead and unlock. one of the things you want to be aware of with Verizon devices, at least specifically, whenever they come to me, they always come to me pre-set up, which means I can actually reset the unit itself and go through and reset it, but just something that you want to be aware of. It says you want to set up a fingerprint sensor. I'll say that later. I'll go home. There's a slight vibration whenever I touch it, and then let's see what we have here. A text message. Get 2 for the price of 1. That says Verizon advertising. We'll close it, and then we'll bring down notification panel. Let's bump up the actual brightness here. Let's see, you guys can see it very nice. Yeah. So let's put this on the side for 1 second. I want to see what's the rest of the stuff in the box. Quickly here, we have the SIM removal tool. Let's go ahead and get that out. Let's go ahead and open it up here. Oh, I thought it would be easier to access it. And here we are. We'll leave it right there. We have the instruction manual and the warranty purpose cards that we don't need to really worry about too much. And let's put that to the side. And here we are. Let's go ahead and open this guys up. We have a USB Type-A to USB Type-C cable that we're going to be using with our charger, which pretty much means that the charger itself is not C to C, it's a USB Type-A to USB Type-C, making it more functional for us to use with other devices if we need to use it to charge. Just a quick read on the actual specifications. We're looking at output, so 5 volt at 2.5 amps or 9 volts at 1.7 amps. Or 12 volts at 1.25 amps. So very, very nice. And then basically, of course, just compliant with that has Quick Charge 3.0 on the side and an HTC branding. Very good. Most of the things that we don't really need to worry about here. Overall, from what we get here, I'm going to put this on the side here real quick just so we start comparing it. I was showing you guys real quick. We have the HTC. This is the M7, the original M7 device. I'm gonna, well, I guess I didn't have it on. Let's go ahead and boot this up, and as we go through, one of the big differences between the two devices, of course, is the boom sound. Now, the M7 was the original boom sound HTC device that was released, and one of the main reasons why a lot of people fell in love with it is the fact that we have these two grills on the top and bottom. It's not the ultra pixel camera. It's nothing to do with any of that. It's the boom sound. It's how the sound sounded coming out of this. Now, as you can hear, this is the boot up animation and sound that's coming on the device, and you can already hear it very, very nice. We're going to bring up the same video. I just want to make sure that we get the same experience. I want to play this thing for you guys just to show the difference between the original boom sound and the current boom sound. We'll go under trending. Here it is, the voice, the voice. So we're going to make sure that we have the volume level set at the right level. This looks about 80%, and let's go here. Oh, this one is 100%. So this is having the volume level set to be the same thing on both sides. So we're going to have the first thing we're going to do is the HTC 10. And that's enough here. Both sound pretty good, actually comparable. I'm almost tempted to say that the HTC 10 sounds a little bit better. Go ahead and start off with the actual M7, the HTC 10, sorry. It's actually very, very nice. Let's go ahead with the original. Okay, so when we get into this example, I'm just going to end it right there. It looks like as if the actual... So because we have the dual firing front-facing speaker stereo, we are getting a much louder experience. When we were listening to more of the country song that we were looking at the video on YouTube, it sounded like the HTC 10 was better. I'm going to end this at this point. Overall, very different in the sense of experience, the way the implementation is done here. We're looking at a boom sound from a different experience here, having a tweeter and basically another one for the mids and highs. The 5.2-inch display that we have here is very, very nice. What we get essentially is the experience of having something closer to the LGG5. And I say that because this is a 5.3-inch display where the HTC 10 is 5.2. Both Quad HD, both have basically about the same level of 4 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 820, both have expandable storage, both have the functionality of using USB Type-C. Now, where the LG G5 has a single firing speaker, the HTC 10 has a dual, obviously boom sound experience that we're getting here. The PPI is a little bit off. We have 554 to 565 on the, take that back. The reason why it's a little bit off is because slightly the screen here is 0.1 inches bigger. So when you get a little bit bigger, same type of screen, you have a much higher density on the smaller end display. Both have dual basically cameras. The LG G5 does have one thing that the HTC 10 does not have, and that's when you turn it over to the back, and that's a dual camera in the back, an 8 and 16 megapixel camera, one with an ultra wide lens and the other one is a standard 16 megapixel. Really good performance on both, and we'll be looking forward to making a comparison between the two. And again, as far as aesthetics, very similar. The fingerprint sensors on the back, fingerprint sensors on the front. OIS, 5 megapixel front-facing camera, 8 megapixel camera on the front here. Definitely very big difference here. As far as size comparison, I'm just going to show you guys real quick, and just kind of here. They're almost the same footprint, and then when I put them side to side, you can actually see that the HTC 10 is actually smaller physically. The LG G5 is bigger in the sense of what you see here. It's almost, double the size. It is a little bit longer, but I'm also talking about thickness, and you can see that here. They're pretty good, but both should perform quite well. Both are compatible with the Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 using USB Type-C standard. Definitely the new standard moving forward. What we're looking at here essentially is a 5.5 inch display to a 5.2 or 5.3 inch display. Both Quad HD, the resolution of course is going to be a little bit higher on the HTC as it's a little bit smaller in the size. We're looking at 565 ppi to 534. Now we have 12 megapixel back-facing cameras on both cameras. This one is rated at f1.7 where it's f1.8 on the HTC 10. Both have LED flash where we have dual tone, single tone here. As far as the actual cameras on the front, we both have 5 megapixel front-facing camera, but again, front-facing OIS, and that's how you can see it actually. It's a little bit bigger from the sense of how this is, and you have much better experience. Both are running the Snapdragon 820, 4 gigs of RAM, expandable storage on both of them. This one is waterproof. You're able to basically put this in the pool and play with it. This one is more splash-proof, so be aware of what you have. And if you can, here we have the curved display where we don't have that here on the HTC 10. This is a flat display, more comparable to the Galaxy S7 than it is to the S7 Edge. And again, capacity-wise though, we are looking at a 3600 milliamp battery here with a 3000 milliamp battery inside of the HTC 10. Of course, this is compared to 2800 on what we have here on the LG G5. All three are running, again, the same version of Android. All three have fingerprint sensors where we have them both here. This is a fingerprint where you're able to basically click the button. And at this point here, it's just more of it has a little bit of a vibration, so it senses when the finger's on, but you always want to keep pushing it and you'll get over that initially. Built-in storage, we have 32 gig with 32 gig and 64 gig variants. Here we only have 32 gig in the future in the US, and we're going to hopefully have the 64 gig down the road, but again, you can expand the storage. We do have unified storage here on the HTC 10, where it's possible on the S7 Edge, and if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments below, I can show you guys a video on how to do adaptive storage here. But this is functional and it is installed, and you can do that with expandable storage here. I want to make sure that you guys are understanding that what I'm trying to give you guys here is not just a standard unboxing, because I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of unboxing on YouTube and so on. The HTC 10 is definitely a solid phone. I can say that just by picking it up right out of the box, I felt how premium it feels. I had a chance to play with this when I was in Beijing. I met up some YouTubers that actually had a preview version of the HTC 10, so I was able to play with it a little bit. Very happy with what I saw at the time. I'm looking forward to testing out the camera, looking forward to testing out the UI. As you guys see here with the UI, it's definitely very, very toned down. Let's go ahead and just dismiss here. What we get here is basically a HTC Sense Lite. We'll get a chance to dive in. We have all the toggles. You see it's closer to AOSP than it is to what you used to see from HTC Sense. Going into the settings, we have multiple options here that you normally would see and wouldn't see. We have the system update functionality we'll be able to check. So say check for new system update. And I'm just gonna, we'll go ahead and go back here. Let's go back. We have mobile data, Bluetooth data, HTC boom sound with all audio here with Dolby, music mode, internal speaker, theater mode, we can change that here, sound notification, personalization, fingerprint sensor configuration, power, so many different things. And then the UI itself, as you notice here, we still have the blink feed, which is still built into the system. What we have, of course, is a much lighter experience. Not that many things installed. This is the Verizon suite that's installed. It's kept in an actual folder, so it's very well organized, and we'll be able to customize this, of course, grid size, and we can go to a 4x5. You'll notice it's even better. And then the camera interface, we'll say allow. Very, very good. We'll get a chance to test this out. HDR, of course, auto mode here. We'll do switch to camera tree. Here it is. Well, you guys will see it. We'll do this in much more in-depth comparison between the cameras. I'm really looking forward to checking this out, mostly because this is supposed to be running the same sensor that we have on our Nexus 6P, which is the 1.55 micron sensor that really performs very well in low light. But the one thing that was missing on it there was OIS, but we have it here. So let's see how this compares. Again, thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm very happy to have the HTC 10 in hand. We're playing with this. I'm going to be basically finishing up doing some comparison with the G5 and having to return the G5. So if you guys have any questions for that, let me know. Otherwise, thank you again, Verizon, for allowing me to review the HTC 10. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, some of the things you guys are looking forward to, and I will see you guys in the next one. Again, thank you very much for the support. This is the LG G5. It's here. I finally have it from T-Mobile. I did a pre-order, and the main benefit, of course, is that now you have an external battery that you can use for your G5.